While people in South Africa try to go to the coolest climate and closer to the sea or the most southern terroir to plant Sauvignon Blanc, Stellenbosch still remains a great place and a famous place for a richer style of Sauvignon Blanc. Peter Falke Sauvignon Blanc 2021, one of origin Stellenbosch, is probably a good example of this elegant and riper style of Sauvignon Blanc. What do you have in your glass, Kathy?
The very pale colour of just bottled wine, so 2021, 1921, that's got 101 years old. Sorry about that, folks. So it's got the colour, and then when you nose the wine, there's just this immediate leaping out of the glass of granadilla or passion fruit. And it's so intense and it's so nice and ripe, but it's just bordering on that sweaty teenage boy smell. I'm sorry, I've had a son who played rugby and used to fetch him from school, and when his friends got into the car, it was just like, open the windows, boys, because I've got to drive without passing out here. So for me, it's actually a fond memory. So I like it when I get it a little bit on Sauvignon Blanc, but that's how ripe this, with the granadilla is being pushed, the passion fruit is being pushed. Now, that granadilla follows onto the palate. There's definitely granadilla fruit, tropical fruits on the palate.
All the way.
All the way. And then for me today, an acidity that is almost searing. It just cuts through the wine, divides everything, and then it's almost a finely textured acidity that then extends the palate and extends the palate. So you're not left with, so often from Sauvignon Blanc you get this almost watery finish, but this is bone dry, it's got lots of fruit, and then this beautiful acidity that extends the finish.
Yes, I got very little to say after that, because except that I use passion fruit and she used granadilla most of the time. That's exactly the same fruit. And I might have had some fresh spinach leaves or watercress on, and a touch of mint, but nothing obvious. Both a touch on the nose, but mostly on the palate to finish. And that turns into these beautiful textures. And like you said, when you got this passion fruit flavors, you tend to think, oh, that's going to be a fruit bomb, and the one's going to be extremely short, which is definitely not the case of that wine. It's lingering on the palate. It's very long. It's a fine, grainy texture, which it feels like never ending. And I really like that as well, because for food pairing, it's interesting to get a wine that's not falling in front of the food. And yes, the acidity compared to the level of fruit ripeness, that's what you will find to identify this wine more closely. Stellenbosch wine of origin, Peter Falke, Sauvignon Blanc 2021. Thank you.